Hi everyone, joined today by Marcia, one of our amazing members here at EFM Coburg. Just thought I'd catch up with Marcia, have a quick chat about, how things are going in her life and how, she's still looking after her health and fitness, obviously in this current climate and everything from there. So thank you for joining me today, Marcia.
Thanks, John. More than happy to be here.
Oh, good. So just can you firstly fill me in, how long have you been an EFM Coburg member?
Joined in July 2018, so in a couple of months I'll be coming up for 2 years as a member.
That's amazing. Great work. Very good. And so obviously prior to that 2 years there, what was your health and fitness like before EFM?
I've been relatively active gym user for quite a few years prior to joining EFM. Lots of different types of gyms and different types of exercise routines that I've had during different parts of my life, I guess. But one of the things that I think I noticed the most about the bigger gyms, and something that is probably dear to me, is that I've recognised that I'm a lazy gym goer. Doesn't mean that I don't work hard when I'm at the gym, because I do work hard when I'm at the gym, but I don't like to have to think, and I get bored really, really easily. So I'm not great with a program that I need to go in and just do on my own, and I like variety. So having somebody to do the thinking for me means that I need to go to the group sessions. And with some of the bigger gyms and the different gyms I've been to, it's a bit of hit and miss about those sessions, and it depends a lot on who is actually scheduled to take, the sessions on a particular day. So I've had some really, really good trainers, and I've had some that have not been overly great. So I found that it's been really hit and miss over the years, but regular, quite structured for probably the last 10, 15 years that I've been going to a gym of some description.
Yeah, that's great. Excellent. And have you found, that consistency has remained the same between EFM and going to other gyms as well? I found that my consistency at EFM has been fantastic, and I'm sure that you've got my average numbers there somewhere, but I find that getting in 5 to 6 days a week is not that hard, and I would suggest probably between 4 and 5 consistently over the year. The thing, I guess, with the gyms where I've been before, whilst I'm been actively going, if I do run into some trainers that I don't particularly gel with, or if I'm not really happy about how the group sessions are going, then it can slip away fairly easily as well. So, and that obviously hasn't happened since I've been with you at EFM. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that personal connection is obviously a massive thing towards it.
Yeah, well, I know who's going to be there. I know that it's you pretty much every day, other than Marley on a Thursday. Sometimes you surprise us and you're there
Yes.
on Thursday as well, but I know that it's going to be you every day. I know the programs are going to have the good variety that I need. I don't have to think. I come in, I do it, and I get it done, and then move on with the rest of my day. So yes, I think the consistency is definitely has definitely been better since I've been with EFM.
Yeah, perfect. All good. All right, and then obviously over the last month, as I'm sure everyone has been aware, obviously the gyms and clubs and everything were closed. But you've obviously continued training with us virtually, which is awesome. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to ask how have you found that?
I'm really grateful that you've pulled together so quickly the virtual training that you're doing with us. I think that I've found it good, as you would probably know, seeing us on, or seeing me more so each morning that I'm on, that I do have a big struggle with my dog.
Yes.
Harriet is always wanting to join in on the session, and she's got a bit of a foot fetish, so if there's anything that I'm sitting on the ground and I'm moving my feet, then it's generally really hard settled and not on top of me. So that's probably been the hardest thing, like for me to walk out the door
to have my time in the gym to be able to, you know, sort of focus on it is my preference. But, you know, I think that having the opportunity to do the virtual sessions at home, even with Miss Harriet's contribution, has been really good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's cool. So, can you explain, obviously, to anyone that's watching this that doesn't really, understand what virtual training is? What do you, feel it is? How would you describe it?
Well, for me, the difference between virtual and online is that you're still there, you're still interacting with us every day. It's still a group session. We're all in the session together, and it's still interactive. And you're training us. Whereas for me, online is maybe just a video or YouTube or whatever, which for me, I would probably give up quite quickly, because mainly coming back to the challenges with Harriet, if she's getting too much of a handful for me, I just like it's too hard and just give up. Whereas I just persevere and keep going because you're there. So yeah, the difference is it's still interactive. You're still there, as opposed to just watching a YouTube clip or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, correct. Awesome. Glad you appreciate that, Marcia. That's good. So what's obviously now you've had as per everyone, we've had a big adjustment period of changing over with work and lifestyle, and obviously we touched a little bit on the exercise thing. What's been your biggest challenge for you personally?
For me, I work for a big corporate and got quite a large team. So moving to a work from home environment has been quite challenging, particularly with constant back-to-back Zoom meetings, which are both emotionally and mentally draining. So I can sit at my laptop for hours on hours, just going from one meeting to another, and I come out at the end of the day and my husband is surprised that I'm actually tired, but I am mentally exhausted from that. So, and just ensuring that my team continue to be engaged, and that they're all being taken care of and they've got technology sorted and all that sort of stuff. So just the added pressure of that remote working has been challenging from a work perspective. Home is probably, in some ways, it's actually quite good, because it's just my husband and I and Harriet at home. So I do see other people who are struggling with homeschooling, or others that are completely on their own in isolation, and they seem to be struggling a lot more than what we are here. So it's quite calm, and in some ways the slower pace, particularly on the weekends, I think is good. It's just given me time to stop and take a breath and reflect and that. So I mean, it's obviously really challenging, but in some ways it's there's some good parts to that. And then from the training, my preference absolutely is to be training physically in the gym, but doing the sessions each day with you, and then I'm finding that I'm doing a lot of walking. So we get to go out for at least 2 walks a day, one in the morning, one at night, and this week I've blocked out some of my diary, or converted some of my Zoom meetings to walking meetings. So I'll rather than Zoom in on a meeting with one of my team members, I'm going to put the earphones in and head around the block instead. So just continuing to move, I think, is really important. So so that's really some of the things that I found challenging.
Yeah, for sure.
Environment.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So obviously, in your wildest dreams, did you ever imagine that you would be training online right now?
Never. Two months ago, no, I would have thought that was crazy. But as I said before, I'm really grateful that you were able to get that turned around so quickly and make it available for us so quickly. It was just a small hiccup, I think. I'm not sure how many days it took, but it wasn't very long between the gym closing and you having us set up virtually. So yeah, that was awesome. But no, wouldn't have thought that I'd have as many, all my team working at home remotely either.
Right.
I haven't expected any of these things that have happened over the last few months, but it is what it is.
Yep. But no, you've adapted well, so that's great. It's all good. So can you tell me, why did you decide, to make that switch to virtual training and, not just, give up on it saying, oh, it's too hard, can't train in the club, I don't want to do that. What made you decide to just continue?
Well, we set our goals at the start of the year, and if you recall, I had a hashtag that was my focus for this year. So my hashtag is future me will be thankful, or future me will be grateful. Can't remember now. And so just because I can't get into the gym to do this, I still have a longer term goal to keep my health and fitness forefront. And so, yeah, there was no question I was always going to continue with my focus. I wouldn't stop doing that because of this changed environment. I think that it's important that you just find a way. I don't know how else to describe it, to find a way. And my hashtag future me will be grateful is all about, the longer term. This isn't just a 6 month or 6 week sort of scenario. This is my future goal around, I want to be as independent as I can physically for as long as I can. And so if I don't do that now, then, it's too late when I'm 70 or 80 and heading into aged care or whatever. I just want to be independent. So I have to do that work now. So that's the whole point of future me being grateful.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So you weren't going to let, this, small hiccup of, depending how long it goes, but you weren't going to let that override the bigger picture of, the lifestyle, the track.
No, definitely not.
That's awesome. Yeah, great. Great to hear. Very good. And obviously speaking of the goals, have you, felt they've switched a little bit from, what your goals were at the start of the year to what your goals are, now in the changing environments?
Yeah, right now they have, definitely. I think that, as we've spoken about, I've had probably at last 8 to 10 months have been really focused on fat loss or weight loss. And, I've been doing some certain things. I've changed certain things in my life to focus in on that. And I'm still doing that, but I'm just also being a little bit kind to myself. So not as rigid with some of the things that I have had in place when it comes to my nutrition and, the structure that I have when I'm at work. So that has changed now. That doesn't mean that I've just thrown it all out the window and not doing anything. I'm absolutely, still doing all the right things. But I'm just happy to be in a maintenance period right now. And when we get back to normal routine, I'll go back to what I was doing before. So I've got no doubt that I will be able to pick that up. But as far as, and I guess from my exercise, as I said, there's some challenges for me personally doing them at home. And I find that I'm walking more now than I would if I was in my normal routine. So I think I'm sort of balancing the strength training with more walking. And, whether I can maintain that amount of walking when I go back, probably not. I don't think my timetable will allow for that. But I think that, I'm still focused on both my diet and nutrition plus my exercise, but I'm just being a little bit kinder to myself with everything else that's going on.
That's perfect. Yeah, great. Great change. Yes, obviously, still focused on it, but also not, as envisaged and just, just maintaining it, doing the best you can in the current environment. Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. But the other thing that is really important about that is it's probably more important right now to be doing that movement, so the exercise, and moving every day from a mental health perspective, because, with all of the challenges, if I wasn't doing the physical exercise, walking and the sessions from a mental health, I think that would have a really, really big impact. So I absolutely notice it when I don't get that done. So that's the other part where I think it's really important to, you've just got to make it happen. There's no excuse not to.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, very good. That's all right. So, Obviously, we touched a little bit on your attendance earlier, but have you, found a change in, your attendance going from into the club to virtual?
Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? I'm quite happy to set my alarm at 5:20 every morning and be at the gym on 6 o'clock. The sessions start at 6:30, and I know that there's been some that I've missed over the last few weeks. So, but definitely, for whatever reason, the routine is not as good as it is when I'm physically in the gym. But as I say, I think that's okay. I'm still pretty consistent. I'm still getting at least three or four per week virtually, but absolutely when I'm in the gym, there's not too many mornings that I'm not there right on the knock of 6 o'clock. So
True, yes.
It is very weird. But
yeah,
I don't have to drive anywhere. I can be getting up at 20 past 6, not at 20 past 5. Sometimes don't make it.
Yeah, I think that, that can make the difference a little bit, can't it? Because you can be somewhat that little bit lazy with the time frame of getting to somewhere. So yeah, it's a lot easier to miss. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that maybe I know when we're there physically in the gym, because the sessions are not so structured on 6 o'clock or 6:30 or 7:30. So if I don't make 6 o'clock, I'm there at 10 past 6. It actually doesn't matter. Whereas when I know I have to be there at 6:30, and if I'm not quite ready by 6:30, then it's like, oh, I've missed it now. So that's probably the only explanation I've got.
Yeah, just that slight change in structure is though. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. All good. Right, and so you obviously continuing your training, you've noticed the impact that it has on you. Obviously, you mentioned the mental one there. Seeing the impacts in the other factors of your life right now.
Sorry, any other factors?
Yeah, so you're seeing it, affect all your, the other ways of your life, the other factors and everything by continuing to, to be active right now.
Well, yeah. So the mental health is, I think, the biggest factor. But just, and that goes with the walking as well. So getting out to do those walks, just having that opportunity to clear the head, I think is important as well. So it is really that mixture of the sessions plus walking versus really focused on strength when we're actually in the gym. So it's good that we're adding variety in there and using cans and bands and other things rather than just body weight. But obviously it's not the same as being able to pick up the weights properly in the gym. But look, it's okay for this period of time, and I think it's really important just to make sure that you do take the time out and get something done every single day. So yeah, I think it's not about weight loss, or it's not about being able to go out and run a marathon, those types of things. It is just about continuing to keep that momentum and maintain some level of fitness while we are in this really unusual period of time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, very good. All right. And just a final one for you, Marcia. Just, do you believe, that you would have continued to train and look after yourself as you have, if you're left to your own devices during this time, if I wasn't there to help you along?
I think I would have done some, but not to the degree that I have. I think there would have been probably just the walking. I wouldn't have done any strength at all, and I think that the balance of the strength and the walking is important. But as I said before, I'm focused on my goals, so I would have found a way. But no, I wouldn't have been, and it wouldn't have been as enjoyable as what it is doing the group sessions. So there's still the dad jokes and the interaction with the others in the class as well, or the group as well. It's not just me on my own. So it wouldn't have been the same, but I would have got some done. I think it would have been much easier if Miss Harriet wasn't helping me every day. But pets are pretty important in our lives as well. So she brings a lot of other things to my life, not just the annoyance when I'm trying to do my gym session in the morning.
Yes. That's cool. So let me just backtrack on something you just said there. So did I just hear you say on video that the dad jokes are enjoyable?
No, I didn't say they were in check. That's not what I said. I said it wouldn't be the same. I'm actually sharing material with you now.
Oh, I'm trying. I've got to take anything to try, keep these dad jokes going. So, no, that's all good. I really appreciate your time there, Marcia. You're obviously doing a fantastic job in, looking after your fitness and your health right now, and being nice and consistent, joining in obviously in our community and everything like that. So, really appreciate you continuing on with that and looking after yourself. So well done.
And thank you, because as I said, I'm really grateful for everything that you've been doing and how quickly you have adjusted your business model to ensure that not just me, all the members are able to continue with their fitness journey. So yeah, I say thank you to you too.
My pleasure. All right. Thank you, Marcia.